What's up everybody, Mel here, and welcome to the first video on Vale Craftworks of 2021. I hope you had a safe and healthy new year. I hope you are doing well out there in the world, and I want to welcome you officially to the channel once again. Now, I have spent the better part of this pandemic getting back into mini painting, getting back into model building, working on new things like terrain building, and learning how to 3D print. There's been a lot going on, to say the least. This year, I plan to start airbrushing and adding that into my retinue, or however the hell you say that word. And I hope to be adding a few other things to my hobby collection, as it were. That being said, I'm working on this guy right now. This is a Triarch Praetorium. I don't know. Camera, focus. Focus there. You get the idea. There we go. Right now it's got he's been primed, base coated, and I'm working on getting the highlights on him today, or later today. And we're gonna be I have a whole group of Triarch Praetorians that need to be painted. These came in a set of 5, I believe. And I have 4 more. These are some of my favorite models. And I feel like they go really well with the model of Xeris, the Silent King that I have, which is somewhat over my shoulder and hidden behind my chair. Which, by the way, I can't tell you how happy I am to have a brand new chair. I have been sitting on a chair that was built in 1923, that is made of wood, and that is a wonderfully old antique, but it is a solid wooden chair. And I am not a fan of having my butt fall asleep after sitting down for 20 minutes. Granted, it's been doing wonders for my actual amount of exercise, since it forced me to get up every 20 minutes and walk around and stretch, just so I could get the feeling in my butt back. It's something I never thought I'd say on the internet. But hey, it happened, and it's out there. That being said, I just really want to take this chance to kind of chat with y'all about some kind of cool things that I figured out in terms of like what I like to do with the hobby and why I'm doing the things that I've been doing lately. I've been collecting Magic the Gathering again. I've never really stopped, but I will say that wallet fatigue is a definite thing that came up last year, because they put out a stupid amount of sets and products, and now with them doing their secret layers, which is their own unique cards with different art that come out every couple of months, on top of their really accelerated release schedule. I think there were like 5 or 6 sets last year, including special sets, that it just... My wallet at one point was like, "Are you crazy, you son of a bitch? Stop." And then I started, painting miniatures again. And of course, my professional pile got a little bit bigger. And we'll say a little bit because it helps me sleep better at night. But all kidding aside, one of the greatest things I bought, and one of the wonderful gifts to myself, was the Anycubic photon printer. Now, it is my entry-level printer to this. I've been using the translucent green eco resin, and I've been able to get some pretty good prints off of this. This is a tavern set I got from Loot Studios, which came pre-supported. Their supports are really, really solid. But in terms of doing some of the design work, like on these minis that I created myself. Once again, let's see if this camera will focus. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Well, I will post a picture of this on my Instagram, which you'll have a link to at the bottom. But yeah, I've been getting some really solid prints. And that's become another hobby in and of itself, learning how to create things in 3D design software, learning how to work with things like some of these websites that allow you to create your own minis, like Euroforge. And these I've printed because these are a basis for a game that I'm developing, which I think it's probably more of a scenario than a game, but it's designed to really kind of bring a little bit of comedy and humor into the role-playing atmosphere. So I think you'll appreciate that. I'm working on it right now, but when it's done, which will hopefully be relatively soon, I will be happy to share that with you all, and hopefully some people will get some enjoyment out of that and get a few laughs along the way. But I mean, 3D printing has become something that is a wonderful hobby, as well as a vehicle for learning. I mean, I can tell you that I got into it because I wanted to have the opportunity to print what I wanted when I wanted it, and to be able to create some of the things I needed for the game I had planned in my mind. And I already had the characters, backstories and what they looked like kind of figured out in my head ahead of time. So I really kind of rolled with that. And I have some voices that are picked out because I am going to film some skits with them once the miniatures are painted fully and I have figured out all the color schemes. But the other portion of this, which I really liked, and I wasn't expecting to really kind of, it was very daunting. So, when I was thinking about getting a 3D printer and getting into it, it seemed like there was a lot to do. But when you really jump into it and learn about things like supports and design elements and how to learn this whole entire new skill set, it's really immersive, and it's a hobby in and of itself, which I'm happy to add into my group of hobbies that I like. And I have to tell you, there has been nothing more rewarding for me than setting something up at the beginning of the day and then doing other things, work things here and there, projects, and then getting involved with other things, and then coming back a few hours later to a finished print and cleaning them up, curing them, and then being able to, have this thing, which literally is the coolest thing. If you've never seen it, since it's resin, it starts out as a liquid, and then it pulls up this solid, and it is absolutely fantastic. And it just, you literally have something brand new in your hands within a few hours, and it's either a cool model to print. Well, it's always a cool model to print in my case, and it's been really, really far more enjoyable for me than I ever thought it would to sit there and look at a model and take the time, sometimes up to an hour, to design something, especially in the case of my own models, and make the supports for it, and then learn how to do supports, and then learn additional tips on how to do even better supports. I've watched a lot of 3D Printing Pros videos. I've watched a few other videos here and there. I found some spreadsheets for exposure times on the particular resin that I'm using, which is by Anycubic, and it is their Eco UV resin in translucent green. I found what works well for my printer. It may work a little bit different depending upon the make and manufacture of your printer. I know some people have not had so many wonderful results with different resins, but I want to let you know that any resin can be workable. It's just a matter of the time you put into researching it and looking at the exposure times and getting to know your machine, and understanding that there are other factors like the temperature of the room you're working in, the humidity in the room that you're working in, also probably the amount of ventilation that goes in there, whether or not you need to add in a filtration system on the back of your machine to filter out any potentially harmful vapors. Or if you want to go the resin route like I did, which is less odor, less, things in the air, and having this biodegradable product, that you can skim off. Because I think anybody that works with resin and then washes them off in alcohol, you get some accumulation in there, and after a while, you gotta clean that. So had our first experience with that here the other day. So, but it's been a lot of fun and it's been very rewarding for me. Hopefully, you've had a chance over this past year to get in touch with some of the things that you've been wanting to do, or expand it into some new hobby and endeavors. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you have, put some information in the comments below. Let me know what you've been working on. Let me know some new things you got to try out, some new things you added into your hobby collection, as I'll call it. And let me know what some projects that you're working on. I'm always interested to learn about these things and have some discussion in the comments about what you got going on out there. That being said, I want to wish you all a wonderful and safe rest of your week. I will have another video coming out hopefully soon. And I try to figure them out based on the projects I'm working on. But I think we'll probably do a little bit more of a look into how I'm painting this Necron and the paint scheme that I use for my Necron army as I go forward. And this army is mainly because I just think the Necrons look cool. I don't really play all that often, but God knows I love how they look when they're together and assembled. Just something cool about it. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you have a great one. Stay safe, wear a mask, and as always, Mel out.